What is going on, everyone? This is Dylan from WeTheCoasters. We're checking on into Busch Gardens Tampa as the holidays are all over and everything is starting to get in that small little slow part of the season in January. We're going to be doing a few things, checking out construction updates going on all around the park and whatever else we see. So without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, no wait to get into the park. Now, I do want to talk about the pass that I have. So, I have a gold pass for United. So the price of that for the renewal was $430, give or take. $430, $434, right around that range, $440. So not too bad to say the least. Now with that, I do have 4 free guest tickets to use with my pass. And if I want to upgrade to platinum, I'd get 6. And it would be like $500 something, which technically isn't too bad to say the least. But like I said before, eventually I will be upgrading to a platinum later on down the road when we get ready for the SeaWorld San Antonio trip. Stay tuned for that. That'll be awesome. But in the meantime, though, there are a couple of big things I want to showcase because one happened literally a few weeks after me and Lynn were here at Busch Gardens Tampa when they had the Christmas event going on by. But as you can tell, that's already over. They are getting ready for Mardi Gras coming on up. And then, yeah, it should be interesting to say the least there. Well, looks like Iron Gwazi was open as I got there, but it just broke down. So we'll come back to that a little later. So as you can see, they're getting ready for the Busch Gardens Mardi Gras stuff going on by here. And as you can see, today is nowhere close to Mardi Gras. It is January 14th, but they do start January 23rd. They are getting some stuff prepared for the event. As you can see, all the Christmas decorations are off. Now they're getting ready for the big stuff going on by. So, I do want to showcase, though, they do have an event going on by as of right now, which is the Real Music Series, that has technically started already, January 5th to be more precise. And of course, they'll have 2 other things starting on by with Mardi Gras and the Kids Weekend Sesame Street going on by at the Sesame Street area there. So, not too far away from where we're at. Then there will be the Food, Wine, and Garden Festival, March 6th through May 10th. That's going to be the big one going on by. And Glory in the Garden, May 16th through the 17th. Then the big thing that will take on place, Summer Nights, May 22nd through August 9th. I know me and Kyle were doing that last year when we were here in August, and you know they haven't really extended quite a ways there. So interesting enough to say the least. Of course, during Summer Nights, they have the Beer Fest taking place July 24th through August 30th, and then Hallow Scream September 4th through November 1st, as well as Busch Gardens Spooktacular for the kids Saturdays and Sundays September 5th through November 1st, and then Christmas Town November 14th through January 4th, 2027. Scary enough we're already talking about a little bit next year. Crazy enough to say the least, but yes, that's what's going on. So now, let's head over to the big thing as we head over to Stanleyville and showcase Tigris. Well, actually, before we head to Tigris, over by the Flamingo areas, you remember the Christmas lights that were over here? Well, they have that walled off, and the construction people are taking them off down for the season and getting ready to come back once we head back into November. So, quite some ways to go. So, you can see there are people today actually taking the lights off as we speak. So, it's actually funny how that's going on there. But don't worry, the flamingos, they don't mind the sound. Don't worry. So one attraction that's not open right now is Shikra. However, the train station is open, as you can see over there, but there is a reason why to Shikra not being open. And if you could see it very carefully, they have cut out a piece of the track over here where the splashdown is at. So yeah, I'm going to show you a little closer when we get over here, and they do have these little areas to kind of protect people not to go over. But they have taken out this section right over here where the splashdown is at. And if you can see very carefully where the blue ribbons are at, they are putting in brand new track in that area. Now, this is not the first time they've done maintenance in that spot before, because if you remember a couple years ago when we were here, they had actually worked on this little area right up here where that up ramp area is and the splashdown there. So I'm not sure why they keep doing work in that area. I'm not understanding to why, but it is kind of very interesting to say the least though. Although many people do forget too, Shikra is actually kind of up there in the age. Hard to believe, it has been around for over 20 years. But eventually, give it take over some time, they will eventually have to do something with this because it is getting a little bit of a rattle. So you can see right over here where the track is going. I just seen Iron Gwazi go right there, but there's that little section right over here where they're gonna have to install some stuff. It's very crazy though. Tigris, currently a 5-minute wait. It has reopened, but there's a bit of a new twist. If you look very carefully, there are no comfort collars on this. I I know a good friend of mine there, and I want to give a big shout to Zoodoo Loopers. About a couple years ago, he made a little bit of a short saying that the comfort collar should not be a thing on this. And ask and you shall receive. So now both of the Premier Skyrocket 2 trains that have the comfort collars in Florida are gone. So that leaves, what is it, Tempesto at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, I believe that still has it, and Electric Eel at SeaWorld San Diego that has these comfort collars. They're the only two that have it, and they're not in Florida. So that should tell you something right there. So we're going to give this a try to see how much of a difference there is. Now, one other thing I do want to mention is the fact with this right here that I've heard rumors that there may be lockers involved in the future. And if so, who knows? Obviously, we were hearing a lot of that with Iron Gwazi, and look what happened. So take into precaution whatever it is, and we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, let's hop on. And now just at 10 minutes, but no, I don't buy that. Anyways, let's hop on. All right, we are the next ride. As you can see, the comfort collars would normally be right around over here, but you can tell with no comfort collars and just the seat belts, it's gonna make the ride a lot more freedom. You know, you're not gonna be able to move your arms around, you're not gonna feel constricted. So at least there's one good thing about it. Now, I did like Icebreaker when they had their change, but I'm pretty sure with Tigris without this, it's definitely gonna feel a lot different too. So, we'll see you on the ride. Tigris without the comfort collars, definitely different, but in a good way. Nothing to complain about. So that's good. Not a bad move there, Premier. Not a bad move. Although, Busch, if I were you, there's another attraction that really needs to get better restraints. Cheetah Hunt. I hope you guys do it. Anyways, Tigris with no comfort collars. Again, very, very good. Good move there, Busch and Premier. Nice work. Looks like the orangutans are not out today, as they're doing a little bit of a small refurb going on by in the area to enhance the animal exhibit over here. As you can see, they definitely have a lot of work going on. As you can see, they got some work supports over here, nothing too much to say the least, and well, doing a little bit of surveying as well. So that's why there's no orangutans out today. So at least they're keeping the enhancement there. This is one of the more popular animal exhibits that's over here, other than the tigers and the cheetahs that are over here, as well as the hippos and the gorillas. So it's good to see they're keeping good form within the animals here. Well, it looks like these freestyles are not working today. Oops. And speaking of closed, well, Congo River Rapids is closed. However, to be fair, the weather is not really as warm out here. It is high 60s, so yeah, it's definitely not water right material. Kumba. See how I did that? That's how it's called there. Kumba. It's currently 5 minutes, which is a walk-on, so let's go. Kumba. I like how this ride is still going and running fairly good. Just be careful if you're sitting on the edge seat at times because, you know, it can feel a little shuffle, but still runs so good though. My goodness. Keep it up, B&M. Keep it up. Alrighty. We're hopping on the Skyride today. As you can see, wow, look at all that. That's from Stanley Falls Flume, as you can see. All that has been completely torn down. The only thing that remains is the station. That's it. And for how long, who knows? And you can see Scorpion also, that has been gone too. So what could they really put over here? But you can see right over there is a big hill, so I can see a new water ride of some sort, but I definitely don't see a mock power splash though. I don't see that. That's out the door. And you see Kumba going over in the background, you can hear over there. And then where Rudolph and friends, you can see that's over here. Well, see you in November. So hoping to get that view for Phoenix Rising, but yeah, with how the train already went by, I don't see that happening. So we'll see. Although to see that again though, that's incredible to see again. Yep, still not gonna get that view. If you know exactly what I mean, well, you more get it on this side over here, but it's right where the flyover effect takes place, right over here, right by the Skyride, but yep, no luck. Although I'm seeing something more surprising, even for a day in January. Both sides of Serengeti Fly are running. I'm very curious as to why, but then again, what do I know? I'm just a person who rides the rides. But, I mean, cool though, regardless. And the big thing I can tell you while I'm on the Skyride is that Cheetah Hunt is standing but not operating. Or as they say in the terminology, SB&O. And whatever's going on with that ride, it's gonna take a lot of work done that's there. So, not sure exactly what's going on, but there is a lot of long-term stuff going on by. There is stuff also going on by with the new animal exhibits. You can see that's going on over here. That's why they technically have part of the walkway blocked off over there is, well, you can see right over here. So that is where the lion exhibit is. And they've been working on that for the last few months, as you can see. Once we get past the trees, you can see all the dirt that's built up over here. And as far whenever that is ready, time will tell. So they do have the lions and the hyenas over in one of the holding areas just for right now and all that. But I do want to show that because obviously this is the only way you're able to see it because, well, you can't go on the bridge because that's all walled off there. But yeah, very interesting to say the least with all what's going on and all that. But yeah, it's cool that they're getting work done within the area. And the hippos are out, which is cool. One's walking right over there, as you can see. Neat. And before we go in there, you see two of Cheetah Hunt's trains you can see present right on the maintenance bay under the Skyride. And if you want proof why it's long term, the wait time signboard is, well, completely gone. So that should tell you something right there. Alright, as you can tell, Iron Gwazi has reopened. It's a 5-minute wait. Yes, I know, I gotta pay $4 for a locker. But I'm gonna get a few rides in, so let's get on and yeah, go from there. Alright, I had to get a couple rides in on Iron Gwazi. So let's talk about Iron Gwazi real quickly. So, the park is really dead today. and there's not a lot of people, in the park, that also means, the lines aren't too bad. So, ever since they've had the metal detectors, if there is at least one positive I will say is this: operations. This ride has been running very good. When I got on the ride, each time that I did twice. 90-second dispatches. For a long while, this ride was notorious for having some of the slowest dispatches, even hitting that legendary 299 plus, which, for those who don't know about the math, that's 5 minutes plus, and that's terrible. That is not good. However, 90 seconds on a day like today, beautiful. I cannot complain about that at all, and that is terrific. Now, if only they can make those lockers free, that would be great. If they get rid of those third-party locker systems, you never know. But that's going to wrap it up here at Busch Gardens Tampa. Well, that's going to do it, guys, here at Busch Gardens Tampa. Nothing too much to see on the updates, but all the Christmas stuff is gone. And it's going to be that weird, slow little off-season part in January, but a lot of construction's taking place, so hopefully everything should be back and ready to go by around February or March, give or take. And then we go into full swing for the season that goes on around here all year long. Thank you guys for watching. If you'd like to be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you're brand new to the channel, and hit that bell notification for any future uploads. Follow us on all of our socials, our Facebook, our X, and our Instagram. And of course, even our YouTube as well, no matter what. Once again, my name is Dylan. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys later. Until the next video. Peace.